What's up, Transformers fans? I'm Mondo, the Dead Bottomless Prime, and this is another Moonbase 84 transmission. And today I'm checking out the Transformers Age of the Primes Voyager class Brawl. But quickly before we do, once in a while I have to do this and ask if you could hit that like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and all that jazz, and we really appreciate it. So here we have Brawl in tank mode, and of course he is phase 3 in our journey to getting our Age of the Primes Bruticus. And just like his teammates Blast Off and Vortex before him, I think his alt mode looks really good. I do have some nitpicks, and we'll talk about them as we take a closer look. But yeah, a nice, solid tank mode overall. I like the olive greens and the different shades of gray on his weapons and things. We'll take a closer look. He's got the gray treads. I wish there was some more paint in here to break that up. Maybe some black around it for the treads. But yeah, nice panel work, of course. Going all around. Here's the top. Here's the back. Nice and solid. But what I don't like, lift up these guns, is he's very gappy on the sides, on both sides. And that's a nitpick. It's just a shame they couldn't have found a way to make that, you know, all solid looking. But speaking of solid, he does have some heft to him. Out of the package, he comes in robot mode. And one of the first things I noticed is the heft. He's got some weight to him. His accessories I already have mounted on him. You have this little blaster here and these two big guns here, and you can articulate them up and down, and you can take them off, of course. And you can put them in different spots if you so choose. You could plug the gun into this port here. Very tight. And if you wanted to, I think it's kind of ugly, you could take the guns, the big barreled guns, I should say. Shouldn't just say guns, and put them there, but that looks silly. The turret does rotate all the way to like here, and then it crashes into this back piece. And the barrel of the main turret goes up and down. He does roll, not very well on this surface, and also maybe not on my copy very well, because these little wheels, because the treads obviously aren't really working treads, but some of the wheels, the little wheels here on my copy are kind of tight, so your results might be different. And this surface isn't really a good rolling surface. But here's the front. But yeah, really nice looking tank, aside from those gaps. Like as I said, I wish there was a way to close that. I wish they came up with a way to close that up to make it a little more solid. Not too bad from the side, and not totally egregious, but it did bug me a little bit. Now we'll go ahead and transform Brawl up and take a closer look at his robot mode. And here we have Brawl all transformed up into robot mode, and we will take a closer look. Just move some stuff out of the way. First, we'll start at the head. Love his head sculpt. You got like the orange eyes, orange in the crest, with the purple mouth. Really cool. And now more of the like gunmetal gray is revealed, more than we saw in tank mode, and I think it looks really nice. And again, we saw most of this in the tank mode, but all the nice panel work and things like that. He looks big, beefy. He looks like G1 Brawl, which is fantastic. Yeah, really nice. Going to the back here, nice, you know, turret makes a nice backpack with the guns. We'll show you some other ways you can display the guns as well. The one thing I don't like so much, get his swivels back in, is the way the panel comes out here on the side of his leg. It leaves a lot of room back here, so the panel makes it gappy, look gappy. I wish they could have found a way to like make this panel fold, or this is kind of beefy and it actually looks like this part is movable just here because of these grooves, but that's just sculpt. You can't. Maybe if they could have found a way to move the panel here or this panel just to kind of hide it and just leave it if they wanted a small gap there. That's kind of a shame. But yeah, but besides that, that's another little nitpick, but besides that, really, really nice, I think. He does have a little gap here, which is funny to me because you see a gap in the forearm like that, with Transformers you usually think his wrist will fold in, but on Brawl, in case you didn't catch it in Transformation, this piece actually folds this way, which I just thought was funny. Going back to his accessories, I like to display these double cannons like this, because then it's a nice silhouette here, and that's just that's usually how he looks, like in G1. So he has the 3 cannon look, but you can take these off like so, and again you can put them on the side, which again I won't put the other one, that's too wide for me, it looks ugly. But you can spin the turret around and put the cannons, hopefully you can see that, spinning around, and you can plug them in up top here like so. So you can have them like that as well. So you have go over the, you know, shoulder barrel look, which is cool too. And of course you have his little blaster. He can hold it in his wrist, or in his fist, or you can port it on his forearm, or you can store it just like you could in tank mode. You can store it back here. So you do have options. Like I said, I like the one thing, this turret, I wish it would lock, and it doesn't. I mean, it's not a big deal, but it just always feels like it doesn't feel cheap. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that, but it just feels like it's gonna fall off, but it's not going to. We'll just pop these back in like here, because this is how I like to display him, like so. Why won't it go in? Because I'm on camera. Get in there, damn thing. There. So there. Articulation. His head swivels. It is on a ball, so you can look up a tad bit, look down a tad bit. Some little tilt. His arms do the full T. Rotation, which is also cool. This is also cool, is he has a butterfly, a little butterfly, so you go in, a little bit in and out like that. He's got 90 at the elbow, swivel at that elbow. And then you have the waist. He can split to a full T. Mine is a little tight, if you notice I'm struggling with, which is good. Tight joints are good, at least he's not flopping everywhere. He's got the thigh swivel. He's got 90 at the knee. Nothing really on the foot for forward and back, but he does have the tilt. And because he's a leg for Bruticus, he does have that pivot joint here, I think it is. Ugh. Where this right here is where, if I can get it, it's probably tight. Come on, there we go. It was tight. So you can go, you can maybe put like someone's hitting with an axe or a sword. But yeah, again, mine's just really tight. So they really have some stiff joints on these Combaticons, all 3 of them. Now it's time to score Brawl here with my review system, which I call the 3 Fs, form, function, and fun. We always start with form, how a figure looks, and form-wise, for the alt mode for Brawl and the robot mode look really good. Really, he looks really beefy, chunky, nice color. He looks like G1 Brawl. Nice tank mode, except for that nitpick in tank mode with the gaps in the side, and in robot mode, the extra gaps here. I always say like hollowness and gaps don't always super bother me, but I don't see why for the price of these things we couldn't have like a panel. Even if it folded straight back here, his leg would still be chunky enough, maybe fold this way and up that way. So for form, I'm going to score Brawl here an A-, which is a good score. I mean, still a good score, but I think the gappiness in the tank bugged me a little bit more than this. But yeah, I think a solid A-. Next, we do function, which takes into consideration engineering and articulation. Transformation-wise, I love his transformation. Once again, I don't need a super intricate transformation to make me happy. I just need it to be intuitive, simple, with tolerances that aren't a pain to lock everything in, or fear of breaking or looseness. So, and this transformation for Brawl is really fun and I enjoy it. Articulation, he has all the bells and whistles that we expect from our modern day Transformers, with a little extra because we don't often get butterflies. We're starting to get them a little bit more. but with the butterfly joint. So for function, I'm going to give Brawl an A. And last but not least, we have fun. How fun is Brawl? I think Brawl is really fun. I think he came out fantastic. He's just fun to transform. He's very cool looking. I've mentioned a couple times how meaty he feels, so he feels solid. The plastic feels really good, and he's just fun to transform, mess around with, and he is another great addition to this Age of the Primes Combaticon team. And the Combaticons to me have been killing it. I like the Constructicons from Studio Series. I mean, there were some duds, kind of, or whatever. Aerial Bots I thought were really good, but I think so far these Combaticons are on a whole nother level. I'm loving the Age of the Primes Combaticons. So for fun, definitely giving him an A. That'll wrap up my look at the Transformers Age of the Primes Voyager class Combaticon Brawl. Really awesome figure. To sum it up again, can't wait to get my hands on Onslaught, and I'd like to see a pre-order opened up for Swindle. Comment to let me know what you think of Brawl here, and as always, thanks for docking.